Good morning and welcome. Mr. Bonnefond, Headmaster Emeritus, Edward Lane, Chair of the Board of Trustees, other members of the Board of Trustees, parents, family, friends, students, faculty and staff, and most importantly, the class of 2018. It's my honor and privilege to welcome you to Kents Hill School's 194th commencement ceremony. You can clap. For each of us, this represents a significant milestone. I would start by saying, for me, this signifies that I've survived my first year. Barely. For each of you, students, graduates, represents a milestone in your life, punctuated by 1, 2, 3, or 4 years here on the Hill. Each of you has grown in many ways during your time at Kents Hill. For family and friends in attendance or watching remotely, there's great pride in knowing what your graduate has accomplished and the vital role that you played in their journey. There's one notable absence today. Reina Nakamura tragically passed in the summer of 2016, just days before the start of her junior year. While cut far too short, her journey is entwined with all of ours by virtue of being part of and connected to the Kents Hill School community. I would ask that we take a moment of silence to honor Reina, whose parents will be presented with her diploma. Thank you. Commencement Day is a day of mixed emotions. It is both an ending and a beginning. We're happy to reach this moment, but it also brings with it the sadness of goodbyes and departure from a place that has been your home. Whatever your feelings, embrace the occasion. Soak in your last hours on the Hill. You have earned this moment. I'd now like to invite Reverend Park to give the invocation.
We have a tradition of opening the invocation with welcoming those graduating in their native languages. There are 10 different languages represented, including English. To this very diverse group, I say, Hoan nghênh, Willkommen, Bienvenue, Willkommen, Benvenuti, Yokoso, 환영합니다, Bienvenidos, Vitaya, and welcome everyone. Now please reflect with me as I offer the invocation. Source of all life, we give you thanks for this moment, for the joy of this day, for the accomplishment of the class 2018. We are grateful for the families who have nurtured and sustained, for friends who have supported us in our journey of joys and struggles, for the teachers, coaches, dorm parents, and administrators who helped us grow in knowledge and wisdom. And most of all, we give thanks for these graduates and celebrate their achievement. We ask you to bless them, that the friendships they have made may continue even across the miles and the years. We ask that the lessons they have learned and the wisdom they have gained may not fade, but may only increase, and that their future may be filled with continual learning and a boldness of vision. Today, as each person's name is called, may you bless their journey ahead. Amen.
It is my pleasure to introduce this year's senior class speaker, Leah Herbin. First and foremost, I have great respect and admiration for Leah and all she has contributed to helping make Kents Hill a stronger community. Leah is a four-year senior from Somerville, Massachusetts. She is the senior class president and clearly commands the respect of her classmates as they selected her to deliver today's address.
Hi, everyone. I would like to thank you all today for hold up, sorry. Hello, everyone. I would like to thank you all today for coming to this very special celebration. I personally thought I was never going to speak in front of a big crowd like this ever again, but I guess I was wrong. But I actually do want to thank my class for voting for me today and speaking on the wonderful memories and journeys that we've all been through together. The beginning of freshman year was like a Rubik's Cube, all crazy and puzzled. And once the 17 of us four-year seniors who came here as a freshman year had typical thoughts of being nervous, anxious, scared, and wanting to know how to fit in. But I cannot forget about the seniors that enrolled 3, 2, and even a year ago that probably had the same mindset as all of us. Today, I stand before you as a personification of conflictedness. I find myself on this podium experiencing numerous varying emotions, and I'm certain many of you here empathize with that on that point. Firstly, and perhaps most obviously, I'm filled with a great sense of happiness and accomplishment of the journey we all went through together. My peers and I have put so much effort during the year. There are many times when I thought I would never reach this finish line, but those struggles have only made this moment sweeter. The people who are on stage survived a year of complaining about APs, college applications, eating pizza every day, not getting enough sleep, and probably running from the guards on the turf. But I bet that we all can take some pride on that. Yet my ambivalence on this day stems from the very fact that this ceremony is the end of an arduous journey. While I'm ready to continue my academic endeavors, knowing that Kents Hill has thoroughly prepared me for them, I'm also filled with a deep sense of anxiety and sadness. The Hill has been my second home for the last 4 years, and it is bordered on becoming my first home. Between my time diligently taking notes in the classroom, how we can tell what day it is by the food that they're cooking, and you can smell that over from the practice field, like I'm pretty sure Chinese food is Tuesday. Taking naps in the dining hall, frankly seeing Zach, Chad, and Kate for the production Newton of the Charlie Brown, which was, by the way, amazing. And of course, sitting outside of the student center, listening to nice music, and enjoying the nice weather. Kents Hill has truly become a sanctuary for me and many others. It may sound disingenuous to say that I will miss each and every one of you, but all of you in some way have shaped me into the person I am today, and I thank you all for that. Of course, the comfort that I have attained at Kents Hill makes this departure a rather anxious one, but with anxiety comes excitement. And at the end of this journey signifies the start of a brand new one. Everyone here I know went through a journey that was either successful or may have not been that successful. And there are myriad things that I can name from the 4 years of being here, but here are my highlights. Girls basketball, you know who you are. Tiffany, Lauren, Jarni, Irene, Vanessa, Kelly, Danny, Gigi, Kat, Claire the K, and Sunny. I remember the first time playing basketball my freshman year, and it wasn't my most successful journey. We won games, but I lost count of all the games we lost. Not until this year, I was able to work with an amazing group of girls and of course, Coach Womble. And it's something that I'll never forget. We stayed by each other's side when we were down. If one of us were to get hurt, fouled out, we still wanted to get like that win. And I don't think I'll ever be on a team like that ever again, so I thank you all for that. Sorry. And also boys hockey. I know your journey was a hell of a hard one, but I thank you for the amazing fan base you had, and thank you, Joey, for that amazing score against Hebron. And I also think, flower just fell. And I also feel like this had to be said. Sorry, give me a second. But this past October, I lost my dad, and I thought it was a time where I was having my worst journey ever. I was alone, stuck, and I couldn't speak out. But I was lucky to have an amazing group of friends to support me and love me through my time. Bowman, Ellie, Tessa, Claire, Caitlin, Greta, Yato, Irene, Libby, and Cheney. You guys don't understand how much love I got the day that you guys surprised me at the funeral, and I appreciate it so much. My experience at the Council has left me with one final emotion. The last sentiment I will share with all you today is hope. I hope that I will use the tools at Council that has given me I hope that I'll use the tools that Council has given me as a means to provide the opportunity to others, not out of a sense of parentalistic philanthropy, but out of the sense of duty to give to others, to other people that Council has given to me. I also hope that you would all do the same, in whatever way you see it fit. I hope that the Commencement community will descend from this wonderful quad, Alphont, and distribute its tools evenly to the mass community at Virginia Tech, Boston University, Skidmore, NYU, Yale, Boston College, Trinity, and even juniors hockey. I hope that despite its problems, Council can prove to be the rule and not the expectation to what it can exist as a school. Finally, I hope from the bottom of my heart that someday a class speaker can stand on this podium and look into the audience of their closest and dearest friends whom they'll never would have met without Council, who they'll never forget, an audience of faculty members who has a deep respect and admiration for them, an audience of family members who have supported them throughout their entire life without speaking for anything in return. I hope this child can stand on this very stage, look at the most important people in their life, and feel happy, sad, relieved, scared, accomplished, or whatever their heart desires without feeling guilty about a damn thing. I cannot believe 4 years have passed and this day is finally happening. Don't forget anything that you do that maybe may end up being not successful or successful. Just know that someone is there guiding you. They'll love you and support you throughout your journey. And I finish off with a quote that Maria Basova told me to say. There's always going to be another mountain. I'm always going to want to make it move. Always going to be uphill battle. Sometimes I'm going to have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Leah. Now to introduce today's graduation speaker. Where to start? It's humbling to share the stage and introduce Rist Bonnefond as this year's graduation speaker. Throughout his 21 years of service to the Kents Hill School as headmaster from 1990 to 2011, Rist demonstrated the power that small boarding schools have on the lives of young people. His legacy is underscored by the capacity to not only develop and champion, but live the institution's core values in every aspect of his life. Most striking was his foresight and ability to cultivate an intentional, purposeful, and thoughtful community where students are inspired to reach their fullest potential and are surrounded by adults who are encouraging and supportive. Kents Hill was and continues to be a place where the individual has always and will always matter. Lest we forget, one person of principle can always make a difference. Rist and his wife Joy are, without exception, 2 of these people. I arrived at Kents Hill on July 1st, and there was a letter from Rist on my desk, both recounting his arrival on the Hill in 1990 and wishing me well as I embarked on my Kents Hill journey. I was struck both by the power of the words he shared that resonated with me and also by the thoughtfulness of his act. Over the course of this year, I have regularly spent time with Rist and have benefited greatly from his experience and mentorship. I'm now honored to also call him a friend. Please welcome Rist Bonnefond.
This is great. Everybody in my family is convinced I'm going to pitch over and fall off the stage. So I'll see if I can disappoint them. Mr. Cheney, Mr. Lane, members of the Board of Trustees, staff, and undergraduate students and guests, good morning and welcome. A special good morning to the members of the class of 2018 and your families. Students, you have worked so very hard. I'm going to probably lose my balance trying to turn from side to side, so bear with me. Students, you have worked so hard, and this is an important milestone in your lives, and so enjoy it. And parents and other close relatives, you have worried and cheered and encouraged your children through all their ups and downs for these many years. This is your day to rejoice. I have listened to over the years to 26 graduation addresses at Kent's Hill and another 20 or more at various schools and colleges. Some have been inspiring, some profound. Thank you. Some have been inspiring, some have been profound, some very moving, and some are just terrible. The only trouble is, I don't remember anything about any of them. This is a rather humbling fact for whoever takes on the role of guest speaker. While my task is to encourage the members of the senior class to greater and greater self-discovery and academic achievement, most of you, I suspect, are focused on lunch. Before going any further, allow me to introduce my partner in crime, a man whom I hold in the highest regard, my colleague, Peter Hodgin. Pete and I are going to undertake a perhaps unprecedented approach to a graduation speech. My voice tends to give out at unpredictable and infelicitous times. I have also been known to tear up when I speak about things that are close to my heart. These tendencies, as you might have guessed, are not conducive to giving a speech. Fortunately, Peter has agreed to stand by me here at the lectern, and he will step in should either of those phenomena occur. This is not to imply in any way that I am the ventriloquist and Pete is the ventriloquist. Well, you know. Pete, thank you very much for your collaboration. I should mention, too, that my lovely daughter and her lovely mother and Matt Crane have volunteered to work as an early relay system. So if you can't hear me in the back, you just have to signal Matt or Amy. But I didn't want you to be disconcerted by people who look like they're suffering from an attack of fleas. In thinking about what I want to say to you today, I did what all good writers do and consulted Google. I came away from that experience with a couple of thoughts. One, I was surprised to see there are so many good pieces of advice readily available. On the other hand, I was disappointed to see so many bad ones. They were not bad because they took perfectly sound advice and trivialized it. Can you hear me in the stands? No?
Yes.
Thank you. How's that?
Better?
Do you want me to,
Is that?
you want me to read the first few pages of my I found myself drawn to disparate quotes from such people as Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, who said, "Cleverness is a gift, kindness is a choice, gifts are easy, choices can be hard." And this quote from the late Woody Hayes, a longtime football coach at The Ohio State University: "Nothing that comes easy is worth a dime, and as a matter of fact, I never saw a football player make a tackle with a smile on his face." It's pretty profound. Think about it. And then finally, Ellen DeGeneres said in a speech, "Success is to live your life with integrity and to not give in to peer pressure to do something you are not." To counterbalance these eloquent words of wisdom, there are many speakers who just repeat the same old cliches time and again. Such traditional but slightly embalmed ideas can have a stultifying effect. For example, one writer said, "Learning what you don't want to do is the next best thing to figuring out what you want to do." I don't quite understand that. Another writer said, "Have big dreams. You know, it is very simple. You can't put a large box in a small box. Or this one. It is unimaginably hard to stay conscious and alive in the adult world, day in and day out. And no, this is not a quote from Mick Jagger. If you go to several graduations this spring, you'll hear the same basic themes presented time after time, whether it is the same old saw, get up early, work hard, and live your dream. Or pick a big dream, because small dreams are not important. Now that you have graduated, the world lies at your feet. Go out and get it. This is not to say this advice is bad, but simply that it is too familiar and dull. Now, having gone out on a limb, I will endeavor to share with you some thoughts regarding what I have found of value in my own life and has seemed to be of value in many students' lives. Here goes. Remember that respect is the foundation of all relationships. Knowing that there will be times in your life when things don't work out as you had wished. Draw upon your inner strength of character and prevail. Be someone other people can count on. Remember that your void is your voice. Be honest in all matters. Smile more. Never drive impaired by alcohol or drugs. Don't take the environment for granted. It needs your help. Courage, both moral and physical, is present in everyone. So you just have to tap into it. And finally, get a dog, preferably a big one. There are many people today who are worried about the state of our nation and the future of our country. There is no question that we have entered a period of unprecedented disrespect and dishonesty in our political landscape. There is rampant violence in our cities and our schools. I share their concerns. But despite all the negativity that exists, I remain optimistic about the future. The reason I feel that way is you, the graduating class, and the classes that will come behind you. I believe you have the collective courage and wisdom to tackle these issues in a humane and respectful way. Because you have attended Kent Hill and benefited from the love and dedication that the faculty and staff have given you, and because of the warmth of the friendships you have developed with fellow students from around the world, you can make a difference. Because the news can be so difficult to watch these days, many newscasts now end with uplifting stories of volunteers helping victims of destructive storms, of volunteers helping victims, people reaching out to veterans who have served our nation, and students who are taking the lead in trying to keep guns out of our schools. Finally, I would ask that you, as you depart campus, to take a final look at the Gold Dome sitting atop Bierce Hall. It was renovated in 1999. Not an easy task. The top had to be sawed off, the cupola, lifted by a crane and moved to behind the dining hall, the old dining hall, for repairs. It may appear that it was simply repainted with gold paint, when in fact the color is achieved by tiny tiles. Each tile is hand-sanded and imprinted with gold leaf, then carefully attached to the dome. When you look at the dome, you see its overwhelming beauty. Yet perhaps now you can appreciate what each tile brings to the overall experience. It is much like Kent Hill. Each tile represents. Pete's going to take over.
Finally, I would ask you, when you depart from campus, to take a final look at the Gold Dome, sitting atop Bierce Hall. It was renovated in 1999, and not an easy task as the top had to be sawed off the cupola, lifted from the crane, and moved behind the dining hall for repairs. It may appear that it was simply repainted with gold paint, when in fact the color is achieved by tiny tiles, each tile hand-sanded and imprinted with gold leaf, then carefully attached to the dome. When you look at the dome, you see its overwhelming beauty, yet perhaps now you can appreciate what each tile brings to the overall appearance. It's much like Kensal School. Each tile represents one of the many students who have passed through this school. One is that doctor. She was once a girl who was a top scholar and athlete, and now she's in a small town in Maine after rejecting higher-paying jobs from out of state. Another is for that boy who struggled mightily to write a paper, but is now on his way to becoming a great chef. Yet another is for that kid who could never finish his homework because he would rather play video games. And he just graduated from college with a degree in computer game design. And then there is a tile for the boy who was a refugee from war-torn Sudan, who, because of his time at Kensal, was able to attend a highly competitive university and is now a lawyer focusing on immigration issues. These few are representative of a wide range of students who for nearly 200 years have made the school the wonderfully diverse and caring place that it is. May it always be so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rist. Thank you for continuing to model our values. And in honor of that, it's not noted in your program, sometimes the head of school has to make decisions that are difficult. Sometimes he makes decisions on his own that are fun. So right now, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Edward Lane, is going to present Rist Bonnefond his honorary diploma as a member of the class of 2018. Now for the presentation of the awards. The Class of 1913 Award is given in memory of the Class of 1913, awarded to that senior who, in the estimation of the faculty, has exercised the greatest influence for good during the year. This year's recipient is Stuart Vine. The Luther and Lydia Sampson Award is given in memory of the school's founders to a senior who has excelled in the classroom and in extracurricular activities. This year's recipient is Kate McKee. The Knowles Prize is given in memory of Mark T. Knowles, class of 1885, awarded to a senior for excellence in scholarship and outstanding merit. This year's recipient is Chad Palmer. The Rist Bonnefond Student of Principal Award. To be awarded to a student who has demonstrated an exceptional commitment to the well-being of the Kents Hill School community and who, through example, has provided the school with positive and effective leadership. This year's recipient is Ben Danielson. I'd now like to introduce Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Edward Lane III, parent, class of 2010, who will be handing over the diplomas to the class of 2018.
Catherine Aiello McKee. Caitlin Sherman McGrail. Cassidy Grace Lyons. Mingxuan Zhang. Ellen Ehrlich Blazer. Greta Ann Thompson. Bowman On. Annabelle Osgood Citron. Wakana Kaneko. Mia Horomdu Coburn. Neve Christine Cody. Maggie Ann Gray. Yutz Cho. Eliza Brogan Spring. Claire Hatfield Colvin. Tessa Marie Schaefer Flynn. Pecha Sayakova. Lily Elizabeth McCutcheon. Elizabeth Grant Beatty Diaz. Tiffany Shania McGee. Leah Sahai Herbin. Robert Eaton Coakley. Zhua Chen. Michael Robert Capone. Peter Charles Wizawati. Cormac Hogan Kenny. Hugo Enrique Rosales Cruz. Taiga Saito. Jared Belmont Valade. Olivier Lemire. Michael Timothy Norton. Rio Saito. Everett John Rolfe. Conrad Martin Johannes Bender. Mark Baker Thibodeau. Jack Teresh McLaughlin. Matthew Curtis Ritchie. Patrick Luke Sunderland. Zachary Michael Whitestone. Nicholas Robert Escabel. Kuji Yao. Yizran Lang. Etienne Croulet. Darius Deontay Hines. Christopher James Herb. Jung Tsui. Robert Hunter Fox. Jacob James Gallen. Jackson Donald Friedman. Leander Gerhard Strathman. Ben Carson Danielson. Chad Brady Palmer. Joseph Rycroft O'Leary. Daniel James Santiano. Chandler Lee Ballard Pepper. Gilmore Brenton Creelman. J. Patrick Gallagher. Jared Cloutier Strong. Jackson Sheehan Aldrich. Cameron David Wilson. Lorenzo Edgardo Ferrari. Frank James Vitucci III. Nicola Garneau. Walter Thomas Longa. Augustus Oak Pignatello. Gavin Robert Bates. Eric Gaming Ma Thronson. William Terkelson. Timothy Eniola Adatuyole. And Stuart James Garth Vine.
So, the class of 2018 officially graduated. Congratulations. So congratulations. But I do have one last chance to speak to you. One of my former students had in her signature line, "Do hard things." Priscilla Sempera was just like most of you, a hardworking student who aspired to go to university in the U.S. In the spring of 2013, Priscilla cried in my office several days a week because she didn't get into any universities with enough financial aid to attend. When things did not go as planned, and many of her peers were heading off to prestigious U.S. universities with fully funded scholarships, Priscilla chose to embrace the uncertainty of a gap year. Over the course of the next year, she published her first children's book and was a presenter on a panel with Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, one of the most acclaimed international writers from Nigeria. A year later, Priscilla ended up at Smith College, and she graduated last weekend. Like Priscilla, you will ultimately be faced with and tasked with doing hard things as you move through life. And things don't always go according to plan, and you will need to adapt. For some of you, hard things will be getting out of bed before noon next year. For others, it will be tackling the challenges of university-level academics, making the hockey team, and for still others, it will be finding your people, or maybe your passion. Know full well that your time on the Hill has prepared you well to address challenges big and small, both in university and beyond. Be connected. You will be confronted with extreme change. As we have discussed many times, technology continues to change at an exponential rate, and this will continue into the future. As digital natives, you must be mindful of the opportunities and the challenges that technology brings. Technology allows you to connect on a global scale and in ways that were unthinkable 10 or 15 years ago. It, in many ways, allowed our family to live internationally and stay connected to our friends and family through social media. This is drastically different from when my aunt would send letters home from the Peace Corps in Burundi that would arrive months later. The flip side is, I worry that it's becoming increasingly difficult to maintain meaningful personal connections. I believe the key is connecting on a personal and human level, just as you have here with teachers, coaches, dorm parents, advisors, and most importantly, your friends. It is these relationships that give us the courage to do hard things. As mentioned in her talk, the support Leah received after the passing of her father from her friends and Kent Hill family gave her the strength to come back and carry on and have a successful senior year. You will also be faced with making difficult decisions. Speaking from experience, that's not going to end anytime soon. One of my favorite books I read while living in South Africa is The Alchemist. It is the story of a young man, Santiago, on a journey to find his personal legend. That is, to find his life's purpose and destiny and to pursue it. Of course, Miss D gave me this book when facing some major life decisions, such as our career paths, our children's future, and if we should move to a third continent or return home to the U.S. Fortunately, we made the decision to move to Slovakia, which ultimately led us to our new home here on the Hill. This book really speaks to those facing transitions in their lives, which is certainly a place where you are today. Let me share a passage that spoke to me. I don't live in either my past or future. I'm interested only in the present. If you can concentrate always on the present, you'll be a happy man. Life will be a party for you, a grand festival, because life is the moment we are living now. The newest member of the class of 2018, Gavin Bates, exemplified this as he faced choosing between graduating and moving on to Dayton or staying on the Hill for another year. While he expressed excitement about the opportunity to go to university to pursue his dream of playing Division I baseball, he also expressed regret about not living in Davis next year or not finishing with his original class. Many of you have demonstrated during your time here that you are ready to make tough decisions, and this practice will serve you well in the future. Ultimately, making difficult decisions comes back to our core values and beliefs. And when you have this compass to orient you, you have the tools to make these choices. Be positive. Over the past 5 years, working at African Leadership Academy and Leaf Academy, I had the opportunity to work with a number of students who came from extreme poverty, who were undereducated but achieved tremendous things. I remember the moment I realized the character trait each of them had that I believe made them successful in the face of failure. They were relentlessly positive, and this helped them to get through many difficult situations. One such student that comes to mind is a young man from South Sudan. At the age of 12, he left South Sudan to live in a refugee camp in Kenya in order to get a better education. His journey eventually led him to African Leadership Academy and then to the University of Notre Dame. On paper, his grades and SAT scores said that he wasn't qualified, but his perseverance and positivity were key character traits that allowed him to succeed. Last February, before he graduated from university, he opened Greenbelt Academy in South Sudan as he seeks to deliver peace to the country by educating young people with a focus on peace building. I also think about the work we do here, both as students and faculty, and it is those who are most positive who get things done. As an example, I am certain through his positivity and perseverance, Ben Danielson will complete his first documentary film, Moninda, An Escape to Freedom, as he helps put an end to human trafficking. You will... As former President Obama once remarked, the cynics may be the loudest, but I promise you they will accomplish the least. Be present. I have to constantly remind myself of this as I am alternately present and distracted. Emails, text messages, notifications, phone calls, WhatsApp, Facebook, these are all potential distractions that don't allow for me to be fully present for my family, for you, for the faculty. I know when I prioritize being present and put these distractions away and am fully in the moment, I am better at everything I do. In fact, this week I was wrapped up in hiring for next year and looking at admissions numbers, and on Thursday, after being scolded by my wife and Miss Cole, I needed to clear my calendar and go hide somewhere so I could write this speech. Many of you have been present throughout your time here, and some even more so this week. Robert Coakley comes to mind, whether for his home run in the faculty senior softball game or crowd surfing at Motor Booty on Thursday night. So today is about being present in this celebration, in this occasion, in these final moments on the Hill until you return as alums. Live in this moment and continue to prepare yourself to go out and do hard things. And also some fun things, just within reason. I and the rest of the Kents Hill family are fully confident that you are ready for everything that lies ahead. Go out and make new connections, but always stay connected to your home on the Hill. So, with my sincere and heartfelt congratulations, I wish you well, see you soon, and remember, you can always come home to the Hill. I would now like to invite Reverend Park for the benediction.
As you walk into this new chapter of life, may the source of life bless you. Bless you with leadership so that you may lead with passion, knowledge, and kindness. Bless you with courage as you explore new horizons. Bless you with compassion for the poor, the sick, and the suffering. Bless you with friendship so that those friendships will nourish you in the journey ahead. Bless you with honesty so that you may be a beacon of truth in this troubled world. Bless you with responsibility as you know that you have a contribution to make the world a better place. Bless you with perseverance and tolerance in the face of challenges. Bless you with scholarship in your pursuit of knowledge. Bless you with sportsmanship that you inspire others with your respectful words and deeds. And finally, may the source of life bless you with altruism, the class of 2018's core value, so that you may continue to work for the common good, remembering that one person of principle can always make a difference. May all these blessings be with all of you now and always. Go in peace.